Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Alpine Daily for this Monday. If you were with us yesterday in church, you know that we started a new teaching series called Supernatural, where for the next several weeks we're going to be looking at a biblical view of all things supernatural, angels and demons and spiritual warfare and such. And yesterday, as we started off the series, we looked at a passage from the Old Testament, 2 Kings chapter 6, which gives us a great picture of the reality of the spiritual world. What's going on in that chapter is that some people from Aram are after Elisha, one of God's prophets, trying to kill him, and Elisha's servant is freaked out by this, but Elisha prays and says, Lord, open his eyes so he can see the reality of the spiritual world, and God does that. And in verse 17 it says, the servant's eyes were opened, and he looked, and he saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around them. And this is just a great glimpse into the spiritual world. And this servant had this great experience where his eyes were opened to this reality. But what I want to do today is finish the rest of the story. We didn't get a chance to do that yesterday because the way the story resolves is pretty unexpected, I think. Probably God worked in an unexpected way, and it's a great reminder to us that God does work in unexpected ways, and especially when it comes to the supernatural, we never know what God might actually do in our midst. So look how the story resolves. I'm assuming that the servant probably expected that God was going to then come in and wipe out this army, but instead Elisha prayed that they be struck with blindness. And so this army that came to attack Elisha all of a sudden becomes blind. And so what does Elisha do? He goes up to them and he says, hey, this isn't the city, this isn't the road you're looking for, follow me and I'll lead you to the man you are looking for. Now again, they were looking for Elisha, the one who was talking to them, but they didn't realize it because they were blind. And so Elisha took them and he led them to the city of Samaria, which is a stronghold in Israel. And then they entered the city, and Elisha said, Lord, open their eyes so they can see, and God opened their eyes now, and they realized they were inside Samaria. So the king now comes and says, great, should we kill them now, Elisha? And Elisha says, no, let's do something pretty unexpected. Don't kill them, he said. Instead, set food and water before them so that they may eat and drink and then go back to their master. Maybe the king wasn't real excited about this, but he did it, and so he prepared a great feast for them, it says, and after they finished eating and drinking, he sent them away, and they returned to their master. Again, these are the enemies trying to kill them, and it said he gives them a great feast and then sends them away. But look how the story ends. And after this, so the bands from Aram stopped raiding Israel's territory. And so, again, Elisha does this sort of strange thing, and instead of killing his enemy, treats them very well and sends them back. But look, the ultimate goal was accomplished. The goal of stopping them from raiding Israel was accomplished, and that was what Elisha was hoping for and what Israel needed, and that's what God showed up and did. But he did it in a very unexpected way. And so that's a great reminder to us that maybe you're facing a challenge in your life, a problem in your life, and you have in your mind the way you think this should work out. And maybe you're praying and saying, God, would you do this because this makes sense to me? And maybe you need to have your mind open to the reality that as God works in sometimes mysterious ways, and God works through the supernatural in ways that we aren't expected, that maybe God is going to resolve your story in a way that you are not expecting at all. And so I would encourage you to be praying this week as you think about whatever problems you have in your life, that God would open your eyes to the unexpected work of the supernatural in your life. Again, you may not be expecting what you see, but trust that maybe the situation is going to resolve in a way that is not what you had thought would be, but God can work in amazing ways, and so we need to have our eyes open to that. So be praying for that this week, and have a great week.